Okay. Well, I mean, it's no news that we have a housing problem in this country. And when we have a problem, I mean, that's what elected officials are supposed to do, is try to solve problems that we have as a community. So everybody's affected by the housing problem. Yeah, we can't pay our rent, can't pay our mortgage, can't pay our utilities. We don't have enough places to live. It's getting too expensive to live, and new reports are coming out every day. So here's a sample of the kinds of programs. What I want to do here is really teach you that there's more than one place to get housing help. It's in a whole bunch of places. You have to make a whole bunch of calls to find help. Because the tougher the problem is, the tougher that you have to work at it to get the problem solved. Now, there's so many programs out there to solve your problem, but they're not easily available, and a lot of people don't know about them. So you have to be smarter than the average, smarter than the average bear. I think that was some cartoon I used to watch. Yogi Bear, right? Smarter than the average bear, or something like that. Okay, and it's all around the country. Now look at Colorado. They have something called the Golden Awards, $500,000. And they just started this on January 11th, and they're getting, that's money for rental, okay? That's rental problem. So if you're in Colorado, these organizations, they call it thriving communities. Now, how would it fun? You don't know what to ask for or whatever. And see, none of these places have advertising money to advertise to find you. So that's what's Google. See, who will find you? If you go to Google to look for this, you're just going to find people want to get your money, not give you money, because the people want to give you money don't have advertising money to find you in Google. So just stay away from Google, okay? And I'll show you sources at the end. And by the way, another place to look for like rent money or something is really AI. And if you go there, they'll show you the kinds of organizations where you live to do that. So that's one. That's $500,000 they have for rental here. Now, New York is having enough money, $128 million. They're going to give for people 33,000 renters to help pay rent. 33,000 renters. Wow. Now that's a big chunk of people, right? And that's just in New York. 33,000. If you're in New York, you want to know about it, I'll have this link, again in the bottom. And so you have to follow up. It takes work on your part. It's not going to just sit in your lap. That's why I just hope this incentivizes you, that the stuff is out there so that you keep looking. The people who don't get stuff are the people who quit. So you don't want to be a quitter. You want to keep knocking on doors and find out what's there. Okay, here's another one. Los Angeles. Now, they're giving rent to landlords. Okay, and actually what this program does is give landlords, if you were renting to somebody and they couldn't pay the rent and you couldn't get the money, they'll give you the money. And actually, so if you were a landlord and have back in like 2022, they're going back that far. If somebody screwed you out of rent back to April 2022, they'll give you up to $30,000 of that. Okay. Now, unfortunately, that closed already. That just closed like 3-4 days ago. So you have to be clever now and find things like that may be where you live. See, that's the kind of thing. I'm trying to open your mind to see the kinds of things that may be out there. Now, here's something I found. They said this is a county program to help you buy a house, $15,000, and they call this keys to the because they want people to buy a house. So what they've done is they give a grant. Now the county gives a grant, the state gives a grant, and the employer gives a grant. So they all give you grants, and you get up to like $15,000 of grants to help buy a house, because they want you to be housed. Because if you can't come to work, right? If you don't have a place to live. So that's why they're trying to help people buy houses. So how would you know that? You don't. I don't know any of this stuff until I find it. Okay, and so that's a county. Now here's where landlords, they're trying to get more landlords to rent to low-income people. So here in this county, they're giving grants to the landlords to incentivize them to make their rent low for low-income people. Now, and that's for people who get like vouchers and things like that. Nobody rent? No. Well, the government's going to give them now $7,500 if they rent to you. Now, that's cool. So you got a voucher, pay part of the rent, and then the government will give them another $7,500. Wow, who would have known ask about that? Now, in Oregon, they're really working on this thing because they got so many homeless there in Oregon. They just signed an executive order. This is the state, so it's the governor of the state. The whole thing. There's just executive order for $500 million more for housing for people, and now it's going to keep 8,750 people are now going to be able to afford to pay rent, okay? 8,750 people, because they're doing $500 million. Man, and they want people in permanent housing. You can't be flitting around and, build a career or build anything, or employers, can't get good labor because they don't have a place to live, or they lose their... See, this is why businesses are involved, because they need good employees that have steady lives so they can come to work every day. So, okay, how do you find stuff like this where you are? Well, my favorite one is find help. And there's three things. You need help with the utilities. You put your zip code in there, see utilities. You need help for rent, put your zip code in there, and you see the pros for it. You maybe help for homeless, put your zip code in there, and you see all the sources for homeless. Now, there are going to be a bunch of sources, or even if there's a handful. The way you use this is to call everyone, even if they're helpful or not, because they'll tell you somebody else who's helpful. This is going to take, if you haven't had any luck yet and you've been trying, so-called, then you're going to have to roll up your sleeves and call as many people as you can. And you have to get people who are in the business of solving your problem, okay? That's what's neat about Find Help. Everybody you're going to find there are people who get grants to help solve your problem. So if they can't do it personally, they may know somebody else who will do it because they work in circles like that. Then I'm also going to put a listing of the 75. There's really like 8-9 places where you could get free help to buy a house. And these are all counselors. Don't go to Google. You're just going to get real estate agents and stuff like that. You don't want that. You want somebody who knows the landscape for getting free grants and helps you get housing because of that and doesn't make any money off of you. So they don't force you to buy something and go in debt that you can't afford and all this kind of crap. So you want to talk to people who are in the business of giving you money for free and helping you find other sources of free money and help to get housed, okay? All these organizations are free, but don't go to Google to look for them, please, because you just get caught up in something that, the marketing is too good in this country. You and I going to Google is like bringing a pea shooter to a gunfight. You don't stand a chance. Get out of that, okay? And what we do also is give grants every month, $75,000. And there's grants you could use for anything you want, either $500 or $1,000. Some are just for rent, some are for home repair and stuff like that. And we also give out free computers. And we have a deadline soon. At the end of the month, the 30th, we'll give out 25 free computers. So apply for that if you're a member. If you're not a member, it's letsgohelp.com. And actually what we're doing now is having members help members. So you'll see at certain times of the day, they'll click on and you'll see them pop up as free help. Hey, I'm here to help you. I have a question. So these are like navigators to help you through the system because it's a little complicated, okay? I know, and it's still complicated for me, and I've been doing this 48 years. So that's why I'm trying to break it down to how the average person can use it. You can learn anything. You learn how to ride a bike, right? You learn how to drive a car, right? You learn how to use a computer, right? You didn't think you would? You did. So you could use this too. But just take a minute or two and let me help you, please. Because it's very selfish for me to help you because it feels so good. And that's why I have members helping members now too. And they say, oh, how good that feels. So it's good to help. So we're a community that's just helping each other. So let us try to help you too.